So sir, हमारी काफी बातें हो चुकी है, but there are a lot more questions that I have and a lot more conversations to still be, to have with you. Sir, one thing that I have heard you say is that you should dare to dream. And this is a quote that a lot of people say as well, that you should dare to dream. What does this really mean when it comes to leadership? How important is it to define a vision for the team itself?
See, dare to dream is a statement which was made by our former Honorable President Shri APJ Abdul Kalam. When he made that statement, he was wanting to tell people that you should have a vision and you should have a far vision. You should be able to dream what you want to achieve in life.
Right.
With all the due respect to the former president, I say dreaming is the activity of a subconscious mind. When you're sleeping, you dream. So you dream in a subconscious state of mind. And when the conscious state of mind, you have no obligation to fulfill what you have dreamt in a subconscious mind. I say dare to aim in a very conscious state. You dare to aim knowing your vulnerabilities, knowing your weaknesses, knowing your strengths, knowing your challenges, knowing the environment you're working in, knowing your team. And then when you set an aim, that is a realistic statement. So I say dare to aim, set your aims. Once you achieve your aim, raise the bar. Now raising the bar is like a high jumper. He aims to clear 5 feet.
Yeah.
He goes, he jumps twice, thrice. Third attempt, he clears 5 feet. Then he raises the bar for himself to 5 feet 2 inches. Raising the bar is challenging your capabilities, challenging your own abilities, challenging your own commitment, challenging your own faith that I will do it. So dare to dream, in my terminology, is dare to aim and be realistic in setting your aims. An aim which is not achievable brings in disappointment. You aim high. You set an aim high, attempt higher, achieve the highest. Then come back to the drawing board. And once you aim high, attempt higher, achieve highest, that should bring you back with renewed confidence in yourself, in your team, in your organization. Come back to the drawing board again, set another aim. And now build a team, motivate a team, build yourself, focus, and go get it. Tie your shoelaces, run. That is dare to aim.
Wonderful.
So I go slightly different. And it's not in any theory book.
Yeah.
It's with life experiences. Any activity I do without an aim and just a dream, I will never be able to achieve it. True. I may dream of having a cappuccino. But kitchen में सिर्फ चाय पत्ती और दूध ही है, तो I should be aiming to have a cup of tea. Because that's achievable. Within my limits, within my capabilities, within my resources.
Absolutely.
So I would tell the youngsters, it is in the book by the way. I think you definitely have the script. So, of course, this dare to dream thing has been talked about on a lot of platforms. So this is where I tell the youngsters. Your aims will define you. Your aims will motivate you. Your aims will make you to achieve that aim.
True.
So dare to aim. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely. So when it comes to actually achieving these goals and these aims and defining this vision, now situations always differ. Sometimes, just like you said, reality is different. You may set out with something, but situations challenge you in different ways. Another important aspect of this leadership is keeping a calm mind in these situations, because things change very fast, and especially on the battlefield. You have no idea what's coming ahead of you. So how does a leader keep themselves calm? Does spirituality play a role in this? How would you say, even in your own experiences, how have you been able to keep a calm mind and a level-headed mind?
Before I answer this, calm mind for any leader is the topmost term of reference or topmost criteria. Because panic spreads like a contagious disease. When a leader panics, his buddy next to him will sense it without leader having to say it. When he senses it, he transmits it to the third person, and that the panic would go on. Similarly, when you are calm and you are absorbing the shock of a failure of something or a challenge or something which is hit your progress of your operations, you being calm transmits the same positive energy to your team. And the thing which I always say, वो आपके पीछे चले हैं, मेरे पीछे move. And when you are calm and positive, that faith will remain that he will take us to the mission, so to ultimate aim. But if you panic, that faith will get shaken. And for any leader, if his team, the faith in him gets shaken, that's the worst thing. Yes, spirituality does play a role. And here, I'm not talking of religion. Spirituality is your faith in your values. Spirituality is not religion. Spirituality is a faith in the values which you have. And as an Indian, 5,000 साल पुरानी सभ्यता के वंशज हैं हम. We are the custodians of the value system of 5,000 years of civilization. That gives me energy, that gives me positivity, that gives me strength, that my foundation is very, very strong. And that for a leader to know is a must. Yes, spirituality plays a role. Spirituality plays a role in keeping the leader's mind calm. And when the leader is calm, even if there's a hindrance, there's a challenge, he's thinking all over again with a very calm mind.
True.
Reassessing the situation, reanalyzing the resources, refixing the targets if required, and relaunching. That can only happen if the leader has a calm mind. And calm mind, one of the way to remain calm is believe in your value system. Now call it by whatever name.
True. True.
So that is how...
Definition can be anything.
Yeah, calmness for a leader, very important.
Essential.
Very, very important. हम नहीं कहते हैं, अरे यार वो तो छोटी सी कोई बात होती है तो पैनिक कर जाता है. Now if you are talking about a person कि वो छोटी सी बात पे पैनिक करता है, how will you put your life into the hands of the person जो छोटी सी बात पे पैनिक करता है? No, I won't do it. I will not expect my team to do it if I am panicking. I need to stand like a solid rock. Then only my men will command. I have to shelter them like a rock from the front. Then only they will mere piche move. So leadership is not one big thing. Leadership is too many small things. And each small thing is very big. Now that is leadership.
I like the statement, sir. Every small thing is actually very big in itself. Very true.
Because every small thing makes a difference. In the big truck, ball bearings make a difference. Now it's a small thing. But the big truck will be parked on the roadside if the ball bearing is not working properly.
True, true, very true.
So leadership is too many small things, and every small thing within the leadership is one big thing.
That's true.
Give that team member the due. Give him the feeling of being an Alexander. He will work like an Alexander. You got to make that man so big in his own thinking कि शायद धरती मेरे कंधों पे खड़ी है. And then you see the results. I'm not saying that you pump him up or you unnecessarily keep praising him. You give him that confidence, give him that belief. You accept what he's doing. You admit his work. You appreciate his work. Then you say, what a wonderful man.
This is similar to what you just said, in our last podcast, that potential is there in everybody.
Yes.
It's about detecting it and then
That
honing
no skill,
it.
no will doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist. Absolutely.
भगवान का बनाया बंदा है, कुछ ना कुछ तो उसमें है ना. वो ढूंढना है आपको. वो आपको ढूंढना है, वो हीरा कहाँ पे है. That is what leadership is all about.
True.
अगर हर कोई हीरा दे दे आपको तो फिर तो we give you 11 Sachin Tendulkars, then you will win. But point is, everyone is not a Sachin Tendulkar. You have to make a Sachin Tendulkar out of others. That is where. जैसे ना भगवान उसकी तरफ होता है जिस टीम का कोच सबसे अच्छा होता है. So your leader, if is good, your team is good. God is with you. So it starts from here. Wafadari Imaandari Zimmedari will take you anywhere.
So we've talked about calmness. Another thing that comes just with that is emotional resilience. And the thing is, even if a person is calm in that situation, it's not that emotions don't impact a human. We are human after all, right? So how does one deal with emotions? One is during that situation, and the second is after that situation. Because again, just like we said in the past also, it's about life and death. You may have seen death right in front of you. So you have to, kind of reassess, come back, evaluate, and then deal with those situations. So how does emotional resilience work?
Mac, emotions for a leader. There's one full chapter on this in the book, Wafadari Imaandari Zimmedari, because in the corporate world, in the civil world, people don't give importance to this very important aspect of leadership. Because this emotion thing somewhere gets lost in that profit-loss statement. You're making good profit, you are a good person. You're not making profit, you're not a good person. Emotions are very important. And for a soldier, for a leader in combat, when the life and death situation, all emotions, most importantly, fear, aggression, success, failure. These are the emotions which a leader has to understand. Let's, for example, take fear. डर किसको नहीं लगता? सबको लगता है, मेरे को भी लगता है. But that doesn't mean I am a bad leader because मेरे को डर लगता है. उस डर से कितनी जल्दी उभरता हूं. A situation has come when I am afraid, I am under emotion of fear. If I take 2 days to come out of it, sorry, I am not a good leader. If I come out of it in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then save my team, avoid further damage, that is how I should embrace emotions. By the way, the chapter heading is Embracing Emotions. The word just came out. And embracing emotions. So absorb that emotion of fear. Come out successful. That aggression which comes is a natural result of fear. When you're cornered, you become aggressive. Now that's a motivation to take out of negative emotions. And then this, when you take out the positivity from a negative emotion,
right,
that is leadership. डर के बैठ गए या डर के अपने aggression दिखाई. Aggression is not physical violence. Aggression is more resoluteness.
True.
पुलवामा हुआ. हमने ये नहीं बोला कि हम बदला लेंगे, रिवेंज करेंगे. Became more resolute to hit them. And within 100 hours, we hit them, we killed them. The rest is history. Emotions आएंगे, challenges आएंगे, failures होंगे. How you handle is not about yourself, it's about a team, your organization.
True.
Imagine I'm a commanding officer of a unit, there are 1,000 jawans, there are 6,000 dependents. They all depend on one thing, how I handle fear, how I handle aggression, how I handle failure. जिम्मेवारी देखिए ना मेरे ऊपर कितनी है या किसी भी कमांडिंग ऑफिसर के ऊपर. No corporate CEO has that type of a responsibility.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
But he can pick up this ethos, this culture, cultural values, these DNAs, these commitments. And once the CEO of a company puts this value system into his working, you see the results. Yeah. So this is all we are talking about in this book.
So I think even it's acceptance of emotions, because हम leaders के साथ ना unfortunately बड़े अजीब values भी kind of relate कर लेते हैं कि they are kind of emotionless, they are too extreme in their reactions, whichever direction it takes. But actually the stability is what matters. This is everything for a good leader.
See, for a leader to be emotionless, I don't think you're a leader. Managers are emotionless. Managers supervise projects. They can afford to have no emotions. Leaders lead men and women. Leaders have to have emotions. You are dealing with humans. When you are strategizing, you use your head. When you are dealing with people, you use your heart. Now, this combination makes you a leader. दूर की सोचनी है, दिमाग से सोचिए. जो बंदा आपके सामने खड़ा है, या गर्ल और बॉय whom you have to motivate, दिल से बात कीजिए. This combination where you fix will make you a leader, acceptable leader, successful leader. If you don't have a heartful energy in your working, sorry, go sell ice creams. You are not leader.
Sir, and another third aspect, I would say, we've covered two things over here. The third aspect is regarding your morals, again, which are internal, things that your family teaches you, things that you learn yourself, right? अब morals भी test होते हैं ऐसी situations में. When you're going to war, you may have to kill an enemy, you may have to do something else, you cannot control those things. Same way when it comes to the corporate life also, you may be faced with challenges that conflict with your morals at times. So then how does a person deal with that? Because that comes with another emotion, and another heavy emotion, which is guilt later on. So how does one deal with it, and how do you deal with things that challenge your morals in that situation?
See, Mac, you talked about morals, you talked about feeling of guilt. Let me take this, although they're interconnected in the question, but let me take them separately. Your moral values, if you think no one is watching and you can do a thing, sorry, you are not a leader. Moral values are there or they're not there. You are either 100% honest or you are zero honest. ऐसे नहीं है, थोड़ा सा ईमानदार है. So when you are a leader, you are commanding men and women, you are so transparent, believe me, that what you do is seen by everyone. You may think किसी ने देखा नहीं, but everyone is watching you. So doing the right thing every time, even when no one is watching, is what moral values are. Now coming to the question of guilt. Now guilt is a very natural human phenomena. Especially in a country like ours. I talked about 5,000 years of civilization, our value systems, our culture, our background, our upbringing. कोई भी काम करने से पहले, we always think कि ये सही है या गलत है.
Correct.
Now, a thing as big as killing another human being, may it be war, may it be counter-terrorist operations. Now, somebody might say that, there should be some sort of a morals involved in this. You are killing another human being. This question was asked to me by a girl. I was giving a talk in school in Pathankot. Now imagine I'm talking to the young students, and a young girl, maybe class 6th or 8th or something, or 10th, she asked me this question. She says, sir, when you are faced with a situation, when a terrorist is there and you have to kill him, does it come to your mind कि वो भी किसी का बच्चा है, क्यों मारूं? Now, I am in a school. Now, I had to handle this question very, very, sensitively.
True. Very true.
I could not be telling in front of the young children how a soldier goes about it. Now, I had to be very, very politically correct and given the environment of students. So I said, I quoted from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. I said, when Arjun was having similar guilt, fighting his own kith and kin, Shri Krishna told him, it is your dharma. Dharma is not religion again. It is your dharma, is your duty, your divine duty to fight this war. The opponent may be anyone. Similarly, for a soldier, killing the terrorist is his divine duty. He has to kill him, because if he doesn't kill him, the terrorist will kill 10 innocents tomorrow. So when I, as a soldier, I have a weapon, he has a weapon, he can kill me, I can kill him. And when I am aiming at him, I am just performing my duty. There is no guilt, there is no comeback. And when I am doing my duty, I will do it again, 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 and again without a guilt, because I am doing my dharma. As a leader, as a soldier, जो गुड फेथ में है, जो मेरे को करना है, जिसकी मेरे से someone is expecting me to do that, because someone has to sleep peacefully at night at his or her home. I cannot falter in that, because my moral values tell me you must have guilt doing this. Sorry, no way. my duty, my responsibility, wahi Wafadari Imaandari Zimmedari are way beyond what guilt I should have or not. I will not have a guilt, and I will kill that idiot again if faced with a similar situation. That's all leadership is all about. You don't open up a rule book when you are encountered with a situation.
True.
You go by thumb rules, you go by honor codes. And for me, it's so honorable to follow my dharma.
That also defines your morals, sir.
Yes,
right?
yes, it's moral. It is moral to, to follow your dharma, to follow your duty.
Yeah.
So, I don't think a soldier has a space to feel guilty while doing his duty. He is doing his duty, he is doing his dharma, he is doing it for the nation, he is doing for his countrymen. Similarly, a corporate employee is doing for his organization, his company, for his product, for competition which he has. Yes, he should not indulge in unethical practices. All moral practices allowed within a business is what I'm talking about. That is
So with the issue in the corporate world is people tend to push the boundaries of what is ethical and what is moral. That is actually, I think, a bigger challenge. The guilt comes when you don't, or rather, the guilt will only come from the fact when you know you're pushing some boundaries to get your way, but not go against what you think. तो आप वो बीच के स्टेट में रह जाते हो क्योंकि आपने बाउंड्रीज अपनी डिफाइन करी नहीं है ठीक से, फिर उसको ही धक्का मारते रहते हो कि अच्छा थोड़ा और how much.
See, that's where I'm making a gender neutral statement. When in the corporate world you said when people are pushing boundaries, and now you are being pushed to reach those targets, and you are a leader or a manager, will get decided here. And I'm making a gender neutral statement. This is when men get separated from boys. How best you can absorb that push, how best you can stand for your team, how best you can stand for your organization, at the same time, how best you stand for the mission which you have. And don't allow yourself to be pushed around, will make you a man, my child, one day. Now that is how it is. Individual events don't matter, individual targets don't matter. What matters is long race. Diwar movie का एक dialogue है that Amitabh Bachchan as a youngster is polishing shoes outside a race course. And the Seth who comes to play the race, when Amitabh Bachchan refuses to pick up the money from the ground, that Seth makes a statement. कहता ये लंबी रेस का घोड़ा है. Not that day the boy was polishing shoes, but वो लंबी रेस का घोड़ा था. So never get pushed. Be a लंबी रेस का घोड़ा. That's leadership all about.
Absolutely. And even at your own level, I think when you feel like something does not align with your morals and it is going against what you believe in, it's okay to step back.
No,
it's okay to...
It is not okay to step back. It is okay to step up and stand up and keep your chin up and keep your spine straight. When something is hitting your morals, something is not acceptable to your value system, stand up for yourself, stand up for your team. Spine straight, chin up, eyes in eyes. No blinking. That's leadership. That's leadership. And that is leadership.
Very nicely put, sir. I think this gave me goosebumps. Very, very nicely answered. Sir, another thing that leaders deal with is, so of course, decision making and how to evaluate situations, how to deal with situations, something that is taught and something that you learn as you go along. How much of a role does intuition play? Does it overtake what you have been taught and what you have learned at times, or do you learn to compress this intuition, or do you trust this intuition? How do you make these decisions?
See, I said, dil se sochna hai na, so intuition is part of it. Like I, for one, I'll tell you, I confess, I have a very strong black intuition. When I say black intuition, we are planning an operation, and I would get a black intuition that this may go wrong. And believe me, I don't plan for that operation in that particular manner. I do it differently. And when we go on ground, actually that thing was to happen. And it happens with me in everyday life. My black intuition is very strong. I have identified it over 60 years. Similarly, every individual will identify if there is an intuition or a God-given signal being sent to him. If you have identified it, you have confirmed it, put it into your statistics
Account
of
for
decision making or accounting of decision making or that jigsaw puzzle of decision making. But I would say don't go by intuition all the time. Go by facts on ground. Intuition is just one factor which should be considered if you feel about it. Not that your intuition is right or wrong. It is that if your intuition is there and you made a decision and you're going into an operation, this will keep troubling you. And when something is troubling you, when you are on the job, that's not a very good thing.
True.
So whatever is troubling you, settle it. Whatever, irrespective of intuition or anything else. If something is troubling you, before you step out, settle it. Go with a clear mind. जैसे अर्जुन को सिर्फ मछली की आंख दिखती थी ना, सिर्फ अपना मिशन दिखना चाहिए. There should be no irritants like पेड़ है, पत्ते हैं, झील है, पहाड़ है. No, सिर्फ मछली की आंख है. That is how the leaders would lead. And that comes with experience.
Absolutely.
You may be any amount of graduation, post-graduation, super-graduation in management or leadership तो खैर है ही नहीं है. In management, no, you can't beat the experience of that person working on that lathe on the factory floor for last 25 years. He will tell you, नहीं साहब ये किताब में ठीक है लेकिन ग्राउंड के ऊपर ये जो churning है इतनी ही होनी चाहिए. So it has to be a very happy mix of qualification and experience. And now that we're talking about it, qualification and education are two different things. You may be qualified as a graduate, postgraduate, but you are not educated unless you know how to keep your area clean, how to respect elders, how to manage your team, how to not litter the area. That is education. I would much rather have a teammate who is educated rather than having a qualified chap. Because qualified both log हैं, educated बहुत कम है. And if you're a combination, you are good. I like you.
बहुत अच्छी definition है. Very interesting definition. So sir, अभी आपने you just spoken about how decisions are made and the fact that you have to plan so much before you go out into the battle. So there's a process to this decision making, right? You have to evaluate different things. There's a structure, there's a method, there's a hierarchy that may have to be followed. What can corporates learn in terms of setting exactly this? So if they are not going into a battlefield, but they do have to tackle challenges, competitors facing XYZ amount of situations. Is there some structure? Is there some kind of definition to this decision making, some process to this decision making that they can learn from the military?
Decision making in the army, as against the normal perception that army is a very disciplined force, is a very structured force, and it's a very top-down approach that CO साहब ने बोल दिया तो सब ने करना ही करना है. Yes, CO साहब ने बोल दिया तो सब ने करना ही करना है. लेकिन CO साहब बोलने से पहले जो process है, I must explain that. Decision making is not the top man takes a decision and it's implemented. Top man takes a decision after a lot of inputs from the troops on ground, the middle rung leadership. Lot of discussions happen, lot of sand models happen, lot of wargaming happens. And thereafterwards, out of 4 options or 4 ways of doing a thing or 4 ways of attacking an objective, one is chosen which has the maximum benefits. And whatever the challenges or difficulties in that approach, those are covered with additional resources. So once that decision is has been taken, like for example, I may say we will attack from this side. But after all this discussion, after all these inputs and wargaming, final decision comes, we will attack from here. Once the final decision is taken, that is CO Saab ka hukam, then I will also be part of this decision. I cannot say कि मैं नहीं जाऊंगा क्योंकि मैंने तो यहाँ से जाना है. And I will not even say even if it fails. कि देखा मैंने बोला था अभी कर लो. No, I am very much part of this decision. If it is successful, I am successful. If it is not successful, I am also not successful. So decision making is very democratic process. Decision implementation or decision execution is very, very structured, disciplined process. Similar in the corporates. 5 people sitting in the board of governors or something taking a decision, I don't think is a good idea. Those people like in the army, I'm saying, this is exactly what I'm trying to say in this book. Learn from the army, because the 5 people do not have the experience of dealing at the salesman level. When he goes to a shopkeeper or when he goes to a distributor, when he goes to a dealer, what the dealer tells him about his product vis-a-vis a competitor's product. What, when he's dealing with people and asking the shopkeeper, what the shopkeeper says, कि सर आपका ना ज़्यादा demand नहीं है, उसकी ज़्यादा demand or whatever. So that input is very important to take a decision how to improve your product. So these 5 wise men in the board of governors must take these inputs, wargame it, look at it, sort of demonstrate it, take out the prototypes, and once the full inputs have been given, then take a decision this way or that way. That would be a very good decision. This is exactly what is being said in the book. So
you can't be detached from reality.
You cannot be detached from reality, and especially when the reality is evolving every second. In the war game or in the military or in the war or a combat situation or a counter-terrorist operation, the situation is changing and evolving every second.
True.
Similarly, the realities of competition or the market in the corporate world or civil world are evolving every day. For that matter, students, the teachers, the syllabus is evolving every day. The technology is changing. What was taught in information technology last semester is obsolete. For the teachers, for the faculty, for the students, they also have to learn this art of adjusting to change. Like they say in the army, no plan survives the first contact. You made a plan over the last 6 months. You are going into the battle. The battle starts the moment the first round is fired. First casualty is your plan. Because no enemy would let you execute a plan the way you have planned it. Like we won't let the enemy execute his plan. Similar is the competitors in the market. They would not allow your strategy to be successful. So you have to have alternate options. Plan A, plan B, plan C. For that you have to have resources. For that you have to have backing of intelligentsia who will help you take the decision. You will have to have experts. Similar to the army, corporate world has to deal with this.
So I think all of this conversation taking me back to that dialogue that you just said, that every small thing is actually a big thing in itself.
Yes, every small thing
this
is
is
a
exactly
very big
what
thing.
it is.
Okay, look at this. आपने सब्जी बनाई है. Very nice vegetable, well dressed. Namak is a very small thing. But isn't it a very big thing?
True, true. It defines the taste actually.
इतना नमक डालोगे या इतना डालोगे इतना डालोगे, that will change the way the presentation will happen or the taste will happen. So don't ignore the small things while thinking big.
Very true. Very
Big things happen because small things don't give away. Small things don't crack.
I think that's exactly how companies, exactly how they should be interpreting it. Every worker on the floor, if they are doing कोई वफादारी ईमानदारी और जिम्मेदारी के साथ अगर काम करेंगे, तो ऊपर वो profit है, top line है, revenue, जो भी उस पे impact आएगा.
If your small things are working well, your big things, what I'm trying to say is small things make big things. Small components of your system, if they are working well, well-oiled, smoothly, your big systems will work fine and the profits will happen. If you ignore the small things, big things will get knocked down, the profits will go down. So, see, it's very difficult for me even to use the word profit. I'm finding it difficult because जिंदगी में कभी किया ही नहीं.
I know.
हमारी profit loss statement different है. I can talk about death the whole day. I can talk about life the whole day. But profit नहीं होता. But I can equate everything with profit. Because if I have done things or I have made plans to save lives, when I say I'm talking about the military leadership. If military leaders make plans to save lives, I think they can definitely make plans to make profit.
That's very true.
The DNA, the thinking, the vision, the commitment, Wafadari Imaandari Zimmedari, that's what makes profits.
True.
So I think it's a very good question and very good equation. जब तक शिद्दत नहीं है ना, जब तक जिगरा नहीं है, जब तक वफादारी, ईमानदारी, जिम्मेदारी, कमिटमेंट नहीं है, डोंट कॉल योरसेल्फ अ लीडर. ओके, आप बोलिए योर मैन एंड women you are commanding, they will never accept you as a leader. They will accept you as a paymaster, but they would never accept you as a leader unless आप दिल से और दिमाग से काम करोगे.
सर जो सटल डिफरेंस है ना कि लीडर ये और पे मास्टर ये है, आई थिंक सर यही चीजें लीडर्स भूल जाते हैं सोचना. दे इक्वेटेड विद द सेम थिंग.
See, if a leader forgets and what he is and he starts acting as a paymaster, then he's a paymaster. Then he's not a leader. A leader would make sure the paymaster does his job well. Leader is here, paymaster is here. The finance is under the leader. Leader ensures efficient functioning of finance
True.
so that the product is good. Leader cannot start working as a finance man
Very true.
because he is not a good finance man. He should hire a good finance man. He should lead. No clutter here. Saaf dimag, saaf thinking, clear thinking. Don't overburden yourself with finance also, HR also, this also, that also, production also, sales also, marketing also. Depending on the size of a business, hire the experts. You be the leader. You lead them. You guide them. You motivate them. Whip them a little where required. Punishment and promotions and appreciations go hand in hand. Profits are bound to happen.
So this actually leads me to my next question, which is regarding rewards and recognition. So how you've of course experienced it more in the military domain. So how much of an importance does it carry over there, and how much of an importance does it carry in the corporate sphere? I can talk more from that perspective. I understand its importance, but how do you kind of keep a balance of ensuring that everybody gets that reward and recognition, but at the same time they don't forget or they only chase that recognition, and they forget the actual duty जिसके बारे में हम अभी बात कर रहे हैं.
The question is very interesting. How do you get the recognition, or how do you recognize and award a person? Does he have to work for it or does he have to chase it? My answer is, बात वहीं आ जाती है घूम के. आप शिद्दत से अपना काम कीजिए, वफादारी ईमानदारी से कीजिए, the recognition will happen. That recognition may not be in terms of a big trophy or a big monetary award. The recognition may be by your leader passing by, hi, very good. Now that's enough for me.
True.
When my CEO Saab pats me on the back while going past and says, Tiny, good. Now, इससे बड़ी recognition क्या है? If he gives me an award of some few thousands or whatever, I would say, यार ये नहीं चाहिए. वो जो है ना, जो CEO की आंख मेरे के आंखों में मिला करके कहती है, Tiny, good. उससे ऊपर कुछ नहीं है. That is not that my leader is good. That is, he is making a good leader of future. He is telling his youngster, बेटा जिंदगी में सफल होना है तो लोगों की मेहनत को recognize करना शुरू करो. Not by awards. A small nod of the head is enough for me to get motivated, because I believe in that man's wisdom. And when he, in his wisdom, decides to, just pass it on to me that you are good, I feel I am the best. And that's how it works in leadership. Leadership is not connected to monetary gains. Leadership is not connected to monetary gains. Leadership is not connected to monetary gain, period. So that is how I look at it.
Wonderful. So I think this entire conversation has kind of made me realize that there is no better title for this book. I think every answer has reiterated that it is Wafadari, Imaandari and Zimmedari. That is at the core of everything that we do, whether I do the smallest task in a company or somebody who is heading into battle, leading a battle. It's these three words that kind of define everything that you do. So I think no better title that could have been,
Thank you.
There.
And this title came while I was talking to the Subedar Major of my battalion. वो भी रिटायर हो चुके, मैं तो हो ही चुका हूँ, पता नहीं शायद होली दिवाली ऐसा कुछ
हाँ जी।
इवेंट था, तो वी वर विशिंग ईच अदर एंड दैट्स अनदर थिंग। इन द आर्मी वी डोंट आपका जो टेन्योर खत्म तो सब कुछ खत्म। वी कैरी द रिलेशनशिप विद अस। वी हैड सर्व्ड टुगेदर इन 2005 and 2024 when I was wishing him Diwali or Holi, and we got talking about it. And he also must have read, seen some podcast somewhere. So he asked me, Subedar Major, जो पलटन का होता है ना, he is like a father figure amongst the Jawans.
हाँ जी।
Commanding officer is overall father figure. For the Jawans, Subedar Major is ultimate. तो he asked me, साहब किताब लिख रहे हो, तो किस बात पे लिख रहे हो? So I told him about military leadership and all that. तो बात करते गए, तो कह रहे साहब जो भी लिखते हो ना, ईमानदारी से लिखना, क्योंकि जब आप लिखोगे ना, इतने बड़ा रैंक से आप रिटायर हुए, आपका नाम है, जिम्मेदारी बहुत आपके ऊपर। एंड व्हेन यू यूज दिस वर्ड आई सेड हियर दे आर, सो आई पिक्ड अप दिस वफादारी ईमानदारी जिम्मेदारी। इमेजिन द टाइटल इज कमिंग फ्रॉम सुबेदार मेजर साहब।
I think वो book का sense capture हो गया ना. It's all from experiences, everything that you have seen and lived and learned.
Absolutely.
It comes from there, and I think that is.
So I didn't have to ask a management expert.
That's true.
What should be the title of the book?
That is true.
वो जो inbuilt था ना, that gave this title, and I'm sure it will be appreciated.
I'm very sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for this lovely conversation. But before we close this segment, I feel our readers would really want to know how can they get their hands on this lovely book, Wafadari Imaandari Zimmedari.
You can order this book with the Browsers Chandigarh or Fauji Days, or you can make a WhatsApp call to them on the number given. I will sign this book for you with your name and my signatures, and the Browsers Chandigarh, Fauji Days will deliver this book to anywhere in the world. Just call them up or go to their website, order the book, give your name. When the book comes to you, it will have your name, it will have my signatures, and it will come to you in a very good packing, very sleek packing, all over the world. But one thing, वफादारी ईमानदारी जिम्मेदारी, अगर ये किताब भी चोरी की पढ़ोगे या पायरेटेड पढ़ोगे या PDF पढ़ोगे, then my humble submission is don't read it. क्योंकि before you bought this book, you lost all the three qualities. Read original books, read good books, be a good citizen, be a good individual. All the very best to you. Thank you and Jai.